Any article you read about a baseball pitcher typically talks about how they work on their rotator cuffs and looking after their shoulder. Their shoulders and their elbows, those are their bread and butter. And even a lot of elbow problems are related to trouble going on at the shoulder. Today I'm going to talk rotator cuff of the hip for goalies. This is Maria from hockeytrainingpro.com. I'm a hockey strength and conditioning specialist, which means I help you do the right training off the ice so you can live your dreams on the ice. So as we work on some of these rotator cuff exercises for our hip, we're going to start with a prone hip internal external rotation, much the same way a baseball pitcher would do neutral internal external rotation of their shoulder. I'm going to put a little towel roll underneath my hips, and I suggest you do the same if you can, because a lot of us are pretty tight in the front of our hips, and so we actually kind of can't get into that flat position. Now I'm going to flip myself around. So I've just put this around my foot. I can put it around my ankle. Actually, would probably be a better spot for me to put it. But I'm keeping my knees right together, and I'm just coming out to the side and then coming back in to the midline or a little beyond. So just as far as I comfortably can get without trying to force the range of motion. Notice how my pelvis stays level, so I'm not letting my hips roll side to side as I go. I'm just staying nice and flat. So I would go that way for the required number of repetitions, but then I also need to get the opposite movement. So in this, I'm doing resisted external rotation. It's actually external rotation because we look at it in terms of what the femur is doing. So now I need to do resisted internal rotation on this side. So I'm going to switch over. So I put that bungee on my other foot, put it around my ankle this time. It's a better spot for it. And then I'm rotating out, coming back in. Again, just using the range that I have, keeping my knees in nice and tight together. This one looks very easy, but feels very, very hard once you're doing it. So if you're doing it and it doesn't feel hard, you are probably doing something wrong. The key here is to keep your heel as close to your rear end as you can get it, and to stay nice and level in your shoulders. From here, I'm going to trace as big a circle as I can at my hip joint. So not using my pelvis or my other leg to help me out. As I come back, I don't want to get pulled into back extension. I'm just going to come around, come up this side as high as I can get around the front, staying tall, then come back into a little bit of extension. Some of you won't even be able to get into any extension. Again, coming around, making that circle as big as you can make it. And then I'm also imagining that my thigh is in a bucket of honey, and I'm generating that tension in the muscles of my hip, like I'm stirring my knee through honey and adding resistance that way. So I'm going to do the required number of repetitions this way. I'm going to do the required number of repetitions going that way, trying to stay nice and level in my pelvis and my shoulders. If I'm feeling a pinching in my hip, at any point you might be fine, and then it pinches every time you go through that specific range. Avoid that spot. I don't want you going through pinching. If your hip is feeling fatigued, or even if your hamstring is cramping or muscles in your hips are cramping, that's okay. It doesn't feel nice, but that's okay. But what I don't want is a joint pain when you do that exercise. So this exercise, you can do it with or without a mini band. So I'll just show you. Mini band's just a loop of resistance band. You can make one yourself. But I have it just above my knees. Again, you can do it without the band at all. But what we're going to do is hip internal rotation. So my knees are staying together. I'm pulling my feet apart. Then my feet come together and my knees come apart, external rotation. So we just alternate between the two, keeping my knees at 90 and my hips at 90, maintaining a little bit of tension in my abdominals so that I don't get arching my back off the floor. So it's great to work on the big mover muscles. The muscles are going to help you be powerful and explosive on the ice. But if you're neglecting these smaller, deeper rotator cuff muscles, then you're making a big mistake. You're losing out on power that you could be capitalizing on. You're also increasing your risk of hip and or knee injury as you go. So definitely add these to your routine. If you found that informative, give us a like or leave a comment below. This is Maria from hockeytrainingpro.com, where my mission is to help 10,000 goalies win more games with fewer injuries. and to get 10 of you into the NHL and one of you to win the Stanley Cup at least in the next 10 years. See you next time.